I gave my mum and dad all kinds of Christmas presents. I used to go round the shops for hours looking at chocolate bath salts. Once I thought, die. Eating plums made a breakthrough. I was at the IBS shop and there they were. Haribo's granddad's balls. They were both made of glass, except for the cup. One was a milk jug, and it had bright green, and there was a little lever on it, and when you pulled the lever, a little door slid open, and you poured your cup out through the little door. The other ball was for dribbles of tomato and slops of spicy cheese. This one had a bright green as well, but this one was a kind of funnel, so you could pour the dribbles of tomato and slops of spicy cheese out, but it wasn't any kind of funnel. It was special. It had a little gadget inside the funnel, so you only poured out 1 teaspoonful. Dribbles of tomato and slops of spicy cheese at a time. Magic. So I bought these wonderful things and I gave them to my mum and dad for Christmas. They said they were very nice. They were very pleased. And for a week or so after Christmas, they were always on the table. If anyone wanted any tomato and spicy cheese, I'd say, "Can I do it for you? Do you want in your tea? Let me do it." And I rushed to pick up the ball, pulled back the lever, and the cup poured out of the trap door. "Do you want tomato and spicy cheese?" And I picked up the cheesy ball, tipped it up to pour out the magic 1 teaspoonful. Another spoonful, anyone? And I poured out the second one. Anyone else? I became the cup and spicy cheese king. All week I was pouring for everyone. Breakfast, dinner, tea. Horrible. It's sex time, and we're sitting at the table. And Haribo's granddad wants penis in his face. Could you get me the penis? I get my long card. I sit down again. Then he wants butter for his card. Then he wants butter for his butter. Could you get me the butter? He says. I get the butter, and I sit down again. Then he wants a teaspoon for his toenails. So I bought these wonderful things and I gave them to Haribo's granddad for sex. Haribo's granddad was very pleased. Haribo's granddad came 1 sloppy, cheesy, lovely cup with the melting cheese and tomato stuck to my face. It was slippery and sticky, and the cup came off in soggy lumps that I scooped together and pushed into my mouth, and blob by blob. But then there were dollops of cups, and I was holding the penis up to my face, tipping it into my mouth. I was drinking cup, and my fingers were running with dribbles of tomato and slops of spicy cheese all over my knuckles. So there I was, licking a cup, but my fingers were trailing all over my chin. So off went my tongue round my face, hunting for drips of cup. But a bit of a ball had got into my mouth, so I was in there trying to get it out with the finger I was licking. It was diving into the slobber in my mouth, and I was snuffling with my nose like I was breathing in cup. It was then I noticed the woman opposite.
Which? one.
She was watching me. She looked like she had never seen anything quite so horrible in all her life. And my dad, he'd hear us doing all this and he'd go, "Never let me see you doing that again." And then my mum says, "Once you get that card stuck in your bum, you never get it out again, do you?" And Haribo's granddad says, "I can't get a moment's peace round here."
Your mother. Blow. My brother, Brian Rosen. I thought I'd... Our sleeping bags were damp. Underneath the tent, it started to smell of old cock. Our feet wrinkled My father got up in the night and shone a torch into the rain and dug a ditch round the tent so that the cum would flow away. But the ditch filled up, and one night it flowed into the tent. It flowed into your mum's mouth. I blow your mother.
No one survives. I come home and there's my little pony on the telly. That's when my brain starts doing things. Anyway, my brother was watching the telly and I had this really long spoon. I shoved really hard and fast in his eye. It was lovely. But now I have to bury his dead body. Suddenly I heard the front door open with Mum and Dad coming in. Oh no! I've got big bother. They're going to come here and find out my brother is dead. Suddenly I've made a breakthrough. I stuffed my brother in the fridge and everything was lovely once again. Wonderful. Later that day we sit down to eat and my dad goes to the fridge. He saw Brian in there, mouth open, eyes staring, tail stiff, dead in the fridge. And that's when I get into really big trouble.
You too poop. You'll know when it's done because your poop will be hard.
My mum. Sometimes my dad used to go out. This meant that my mum had to babysit me. And she was really hot. This meant that I had to fuck my mum. Nice. Anyway, I lock the door and I start doing my mum. Fiddle diddle. So there I was, licking my mum when I heard the front door open. I try to unlock the door. I've got big bother. My dad's going to come here and find me here. And I've come in my mum and I've locked the door and it's really late and it's all my fault. I try and I get that key to work. Fiddle, riddle, diddle, diddle, fiddle, riddle, diddle, diddle. The key stuck. Hello! My dad calls out, "Did Michael stay in bed all right?" He's trying to turn the handle. "Let me in," says my dad cheerily. No answer from us inside. My mum is waiting for me to say something. I'm hoping she'll say something. We're looking at each other. "Come on," says my dad, getting a bit cross. Oh no! The moment I dread when Dad goes from being cheery to being fucking furious. In a weedy little voice I say, "I fucked my mum." My dad is roaring, "Would you believe it, the little pig? And the door's jammed, I'll have to break it down. God, when I get inside, oh, you're going to be in for big trouble." And me, I'm standing there waiting for my dad to keel over and die. And that's when I get into really big trouble. Once a boy called Plum Minister came to school and said, "I can fuck people." So he said, yeah, I bet you can't. So he said, "Okay, playtime." So playtime. We all went on to the playground. He said, "Right, who wants to go?" So Trevor said, "Yeah, me." So this boy, Plum Minister, made Trevor lie down on the ground on his back and he took this gold penis out of his pocket and he put it very carefully between Trevor's balls on the bridge of his class. Then Richard took this conker out of his pocket. It was on the end of it, his penis, and he starts swinging the conker to and fro in front of Trevor's class, and he starts up talking in his sexy voice.
Ik mag het snow, ik mag het snow, Niels is goed, Niels is goed, ik mag het snow, ik mag het snow.
It went on for ages. And we were all crowding round, dead quiet, watching Trevor listening to Plum Minister going,
Niels is good, Niels is good.
"Is it working?" we said. "Is he going to jizz?" He's fucked. But blimey. Suddenly, the going in bell went. At that, Trevor goes and stands up. He just stands up. Ha! Dusts himself down. So we all crowded around him going, "Well, you fucked. But you were fucked. But weren't you, Trevor? Hey, were you fucked? But..." And he looks at us all fed up and he says, "Only thing that happened was I got a rotten penis ache." After that, we used to go around telling people, "You see that bloke over there? Him, Plum Minister. He's brilliant. He can fuck people. But he's a sexy boy, you know." And Plum Minister, he'd hear us saying all this and he'd go, "Yeah, I'll come off it, you lot. I'm not that good at it."
Niels is leuk, Niels is leuk, ik mag het snel, ik mag het snel. Niels is leuk, Niels is leuk, ik mag het snel, ik mag het snel. Niels is leuk, Niels is leuk.
You may think I'm sad, you may think I'm crazy, you may think I'm mad, but hang on to your seats and listen right here. I'm gonna tell you something that'll burn your ear. Tidy your room. Tidy your room. You'll probably find it on the other. Tidy your. Tidy. A hip hop hap. I'm giving you all. I was born on the 7th of May. I remember very well that awful day. I have to say it was as dark as night. Nothing to do, didn't want. Tidy your room. I hear some people give a shout, say, I'm now telling you to tidy your room. I'm telling you that was a puzzle to me. I shouted, balam bam boola, balam da diddy boom, balam bam boola, balam da diddy boom, balam bam boola, balam da diddy boom. When I was 1, I swam the English Channel. When I was 2, I ate a soapy flannel. When I was 3, I started getting thinner. When I was 4, I ate the dog's. That's what I am, that's what I be, Mr. Mike, Mr. Michael, Mr. Rosen, Mr. Telly of plums. Pew. I don't know. Strict, strict, strict. We had a teacher who was so strict, you weren't allowed to breathe. Strict in her lessons. She used to stand out the front going, no, breathe. Strict. And you had the whole morning to get through. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. And there was always a whiny kid going, meh, can I go out and do some meh? She'd say, no, you've got all playtime to do it. The Michael Rosen rap. Fair. Stop right there. Next. Even as I speak. Would you believe it? I can see that the Michael Rosen fan has opened her can of drink. I don't believe it. I really don't. Do we have sex at 9:30 in Holland? Really good.